for comedians, and we find that they're good to be classy.
Yeah.
Or if they're just a big old piece of trash.
Trash.
I'm your host, 𝙧𝙚 𝘽𝙚 coming at you on a beautiful day. We're out back here with Toadies in a new edition. She's out, started a new job today.
Okay.
Gold's Gym. Trainer.
Respect it.
She's got the winstrel if you need it. My co-host is coming at you from across the table. It's what we call a family episode. Just the boys, the bozos, and the homies. He is the CEO of Are You Garbage? He is an international businessman and an international man of mystery. Ooh, I don't know where he was last night. Give it up for KJ, Kevin James Ryan, everybody.
What up, gang? Shout out to you. Thanks for tuning in. As always, please make sure you rate, review, subscribe on iTunes. Full video available on YouTube. Also, full video now available on Spotify. Go over there. You can comment. Beep, boop, boop. You can watch over there. I don't know what that means, but we're part of a creator program. Check it out.
We're on the goddamn charts over there.
We are. They're like top 50 in all podcasts or something like that. I might be flubbing those numbers a little bit for marketing purposes.
73. Going down.
Also, patreon.com/garbage, the greatest website of all time. You go over there, you get all that bonus content. The Route 66 tour over on there on the YouTube channel. Go check that out. That's still climbing. We appreciate it. Share with a friend. We love you. And also, the boys got a couple dates left. First show sold out in Cleveland. First show sold out in Pittsburgh. Added shows this April. Get them tickies. Come hang with the boys.
I forgot to mention something in your intro.
Uh-oh.
Also, goes along with the episode, former counterman at the flagship store in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, for Macy's department store.
I was a haberdasher, sure.
At the Wanamaker building.
At the Wanamaker building.
That's it. Doesn't get any bigger than that.
Third floor, menswear.
It does get a little bigger than that.
Where?
Bloomingdale's, King of Prussia Mall, fragrance model.
I would push back
Winter
on that.
in 96. That's how you doing?
No, okay. First of all, you were a seasonal employee. That's trash. Okay? I was full-time, dog.
Yeah, they brought me in when they needed me.
I was banging in the summertime.
I was a model. You were the fat guy. You probably had a slice of Sparrow underneath the register.
Nah, at that point, I was going to fucking... I was going to Quiznos getting that chicken.
Run it through again.
Oh, man. Woo! Getting that was the first time I had real tangy sauce on a sandwich.
It's the first time I saw an assembly line to make a sandwich. That thing was wild.
It was not a chicken pesto parm. It was something like that, man.
It wasn't a kale salad.
It was not. That and a couple of fucking chocolate chip cookies. Couple 2-tree heaters. I'd go back and sell you the shit out of a pair of fucking Nike swim trunks.
A little bit of brownie on the corner of your lips.
Yeah, I was a big retail man. Everybody knows that. My days at Macy's.
I was a model.
Stop saying that.
I was a fragrance model.
Okay.
At Bloomingdale's.
Oh, what do you want me to do? Blow you? What do you want from me, guy?
You would have wanted to back then. Spritz as he walked by. I don't know what to doing. All black. My Aunt Jill got me the job. She ran the makeup counter up there. Oh, I love those ladies. I love walking through the perfume department at a department store.
I hate it. It makes me sad.
I talk about it all the time on the show. I loved it.
Yeah,
That's a hell of a Christmas. People would recognize me. Oh, my God, what he done? Don't fragrance modeling.
That's not recognizing you. That's bumping into you. Recognize you. No. See, this is what you do. People recognize
This is Pete.
Hey, you're the kid that shit his pants at the Pizza Hut.
No,
the other day.
no, I didn't shit my pants. This when I was different. This was peak. Lacrosse.
I'm not
I was probably about $1.69, $1.70, 71.
I'm not saying you weren't. Stop cutting me off. I'm not saying you weren't in shape, but there were people you knew you would see.
Yeah.
Recognize just means, hey, that guy's been on TV before. That wasn't you. I get to recognize. See, man, you're delusional.
There's a modeling gig. I tried to parlay.
It'd be one thing if people recognized you from the modeling gig in school. Oh, you're the guy who sprayed my mom in the eyes with Curve.
She has a bad rash now.
You guys are pumping fucking knockoff scents. Made my dog sick.
I'm selling dupes. CKC. That CKB was a big hit. That CK1, too.
I was a polo man, polo sport.
If you wanted to close some ass at Widener University, 1995-96, you better have a little CK1 on you. You know what I'm saying?
I do. I have some sad news.
What?
The Macy's at the Wanamaker building will be closing down
this
month.
I heard
this
that.
month?
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone messaged me
No more light show at Christmas?
I got to go back. I'm giving a big speech. I'm doing it for 3 of them sandwiches. Couple of them sandwiches.
And if Raj from Quiznos was here, he would tell you the same thing.
It was like a chicken bacon. Oh, man, whatever it was. It had mushrooms on it. I didn't like the mushies. I told him I was allergic. Get out of here.
Had some fancy name like Monterey or something like that.
It was something I ain't never seen before.
Thousand Island Kippy. Huh?
That and there was that bar Champs right across the street in that Marriott. I'd go in there and get my chicken tenders and and Diet Cokes.
Pick up a bunch of chicks after your shift. Huh?
So I was wearing my dad's suit. I had to wear a suit every day. I wear my dad's suit.
Oh man, I bet your dogs were barking towards the end of that shift.
I was in Danny's shoes. They might as well buried me. I was in my dad's suit in Danny's old shoes. talk.
Ready for the funeral home, huh?
Talk about a goodwill kid. Jesus Christ.
All the Undertaker would have to do is trim those eyebrows, huh? You'd be all right.
Just so he could close the door. They're popping out. He's trying to close the door.
Oh, man. That would suck, dying in the suit you're buried in.
I mean, they just rolled me right, dude. I never told you this. I had to work till 8:15. I think they closed at 8. I had to work till 8:15.
When was this run? We're talking about retail.
We're talking
retail.
That's how you move. That's how you move product.
What
Lighting and cheap fabric.
When was this run?
What do you mean run?
When did you work there? When were you employed? This is in college?
My brother got me the job. That's what as you know, that's what dirtbags do. One gets in and he opens the door for the other. He was in the manager program, like at the manager program at Bloomingdale. Or whatever.
Of course. Now, if you had to define diminishing returns, the elder Ryan is a superior model to what I look across the table at every day. A good-looking kid. Sharp guy, good-looking kid. He should be a young guy working there.
What was I? I was a young guy working there.
Quiznos. Okay?
That's a fine establishment.
Your shirt had bacon bits on it.
All the clothes were dirty that I wore. Because I don't wear. I worked 5 to 8:15.
When was this run? Were you in college?
I was in college.
You were in college?
Yeah.
So you would be in college and you'd go work in the city?
Yeah.
Oh, what a loser.
Working on the weekend like usual.
What a loser, dude.
What do you mean?
Would you be showing up late to parties with, like, your tie on?
I wouldn't call them parties, but I did frequent again. That was hot.
Smelling like Tom McCann's souls?
I would go. I did show up to a couple of spots.
Whoa.
And I remember one kid was like, "You look good. We were out front smoking a cig." And I didn't. I was a very no haircut kind of guy. And my buddy Pat, not Pat of Pat fame, another Pat. So he's like, "You look good, man. Why don't you do something with that hair?" Because it's just like, he's like, "Just brush it aside. Do something. Put a little product in there."
This guy's down there selling ties like Boris Johnson. Nothing on that? Former Prime Minister.
Yeah, very Boris Johnson-esque.
So you worked there?
So I worked there in college. I would probably say my junior and senior year, maybe, or
through the summer, or would it only be when you were in school?
Through the summer, I think I might only work there a year. So it's probably like September to like a little bit in the summer, and then I'd have to drive down there because then I wouldn't live down there in the summer.
Right.
So I'd live in fucking I'd live in Bucks at my mom's house, and I would take her. That was when I was in the Bravada. I would drive her Bravada down. I'd have to pay for parking. That was like $25. I was making, I don't know, $70 a day. Between that and the Quiznos, I'm out of cash.
For the folks that aren't familiar, it's in a very nice historic building in Center City, Philadelphia, called the Wanamaker Building. John Wanamaker. Wanamaker's was an old department store. Macy's bought them out. Whatever. Things go. This and that.
Sure.
It's a nice place. It was beautiful building.
Yeah, it still is. They do the Christmas things there. That was when you really wanted to put a gun in your mouth. Hey, all right, hold on. Let me. Man, they do the Christmas show every hour on the 15th. So it'd be like 1:15, 2:15, and these fucking mouth. What time is so coming? Little kid shitting himself.
Lady, you wouldn't know a Van Heusen if it hit you in the face. Now get out of here.
You think you're Alfani material?
So you didn't. It's funny. You didn't have a mall to go wander around. You had to go down the street to get your nourishment.
Yeah.
Huh.
But that was good because you're just out right outside. But then you're just in the streets of Philadelphia. You're just fucking, you're catching heaters, just fucking fighting the zombies. So here, let me put this before we get into it. This came in from Sean. This just goes, I think, to sum up because you were never a retail man. I mean, your modeling career, obviously. I don't want to. But that's more entertainment business. That's not.
I was paid
retail.
as an actor. You know how delusional I am. I thought.
Yes, I do. Thanks for checking in with me though after 5 years.
So this is winter break. I think either it would have had been my freshman year, after my freshman year of college, or in the middle of my freshman year or middle of my sophomore year of college. I was hired I was paid as an actor, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, or talent or something like that. The only job that I just had to stand there and hand out cards and spray people and talk people up about CKB, and I'd be in different places in the store.
So you never worked retail?
No,
that's not retail.
That's modeling.
That's fashion. That's high fashion where I come from.
Sure. I thought that I was going to get points.
What year did you go to Paris?
Walk the runway?
Break it. What year was that?
Anna Wintour screwed me out of that gig.
She
said I was too good looking. She wanted me embarrassing the French models.
How many Victoria's Secret models did you date?
I was teamed up with this dime piece.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what happened to her. I lost touch with her.
She still has all her teeth, I bet, unlike some people at the table. Sir, if I spray this cologne on me, am I going to lose all my teeth like you?
I had my teeth back then. I have been taking a lot of heat about my teeth and my tongue and my face. A lot of job about references.
Overall well-being.
I thought I was going to get SAG credit for it. I swear to God.
I mean, you are an all-time bozo.
I thought that was the start of it. I thought this how you get to Milan. Cannes Film Festival. Thought I was going to be
now you just got a set of cans.
Doing H with Kate Moss and Johnny Depp hanging out. Smoking cigarettes like this. Thought I just went back to Widener and flunked out.
I don't need this. I'm in fashion.
I worked at West Coast Video my senior year of high school.
Okay.
That was my retail. I wasn't good with the...
I would argue that's more customer.
That's
not retail. You're not really selling.
Retail?
I'm not. Listen, hey.
Hey, we're paying wholesale prices, I can tell you that.
Sure. That is more customer. You're not selling. You're renting.
Landscaper, waiter, laborer.
So just say no. Why can't you just say no to the question? This is crazy.
We did sell at West Coast Video. You were able to not just rent, you could buy.
I'm aware of that, but nobody was
retail purchase, right, Luke?
Okay. 30 videos. Can't return those.
I'm just saying you weren't in the shit, man.
No.
Okay.
No.
As very eloquently put, this is from Sean. I know we hear a lot about the perils of restaurant workers often on the show, rightfully so.
Yes.
But I worked at an FYE while in high school/college, 2008 to 2012, and I think people forget about the trenches of mall retail workers we're in on any given Friday night.
I love you.
I'm 33 and still have a group chat with 4 of the people I worked with back then, and every once in a while someone will bring up repressed memories like a Vietnam flashback. For reference, I was also active duty military, and the vibe of both group chats are unnervingly similar at times.
I get it, man.
There is I remember at Macy's, I didn't know retail. I had never worked retail like that, I don't think.
Were you selling? Were you?
I was cashier on the floor.
I understand that, but would you go and help people? Hey, this shirt, I want to wear this with this. Would you be selling? Did you get commission?
No. Commission? I was making $8 an hour.
Jesus.
$8.15 an hour.
So you had no motivation to help people or hey, why don't you get the shoes too or get this or whatever?
No.
I thought that's how that worked.
No, I think the suit people got commission. If you're selling suit, if you're moving units, you're moving DKNY.
Wait, you weren't standing behind the counter. You were walking around in what were you in? Shirts, socks, shoes?
I was in men's activewear. I was in charge of
activewear.
I was in charge of dungarees.
Would you fold and put back on the shirt? Okay, so you're not just standing behind. You're not a checkout.
You're behind. No, yeah, but listen, as a guy who's never worked retail, let me explain.
Would you
something.
gift wrap?
Let me explain something. No, you go up on the 3rd floor. They gift wrap it for you for free. Just show them the receipt.
I could never do those curls. I'd see my mom do that. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, no, we didn't do anything. We had a circle sign and say. That was the big thing. So all these major big box retailers want information from, from the customer.
Here we go.
So you had to put. So hold on. I worked at Macy's in Center City, Philadelphia, probably 2000. What would that be? 2007, 8-ish, probably 2008, right? And
right before you met me, your whole world turned around.
Yeah. And I still remember those days. First time I ever hung out with you, you complained about how far I parked from the venue. I swear to fucking God. He goes, I thought you said it was a couple of blocks. This is a real hump, huh? This is what the guy I'm driving him home. Meanwhile, he's smoking all my fucking cigarettes, taking some for the ride when he gets out.
Hey, you want to go back to fucking J.C. Penney's wherever I found you? Punk?
Found me. Wherever you found me?
Plucked you
Guy,
out of
you were 40.
Plucked you out of a sea of talent.
Guy, you were 40 bumming cigs off me, asking for rides home, and then complaining about it.
You're lucky you did that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be sitting here with me drinking your seltzers. Kip, let's talk about Light Strike Hard Refresher.
Shout out to Light Strike.
Shout out to all you party animals out there. The Two Bears 5K is in Tampa, Florida this May 4th. And sponsored by the first beverage built to outpace the party. Of course, we're talking about Light Strike Hard Refresher, an excellent source of 5% alcohol. Let's go, baby. Light Strike is finally here, and unlike anything the alcohol industry has seen before, Light Strike isn't just a drink. It's a goddamn survival tool. It's perfect for any party pacer. Why choose between fun and function? Choose Light Strike, baby.
Yeah, this hydration drink-inspired cocktail low-key brings its own self-care to the party with a crushable mix of coconut water, sea salt, and 5% alcohol by volume. That's all the good stuff and the bad stuff. How you doing? It's non-carbonated, gluten-free, and a great alternative to fizzy hard seltzers or sugary canned cocktails. That's the problem. You start drinking them cocktails.
Get dehydrated.
And the sugar, man, it's like your teeth are falling out of your mouth. Light Strike Hard Refresher is launching nationally this month with 2 flavors, lemon, lime, and mango. They were nice enough to send them over here, and I gotta tell you, the boys were fighting over them. It was like they hit them like the Tasmanian devil. Learn more about Light Strike at drinklightstrike.com or follow on TikTok and Instagram at drinklightstrike. One more time, drinklightstrike.com. Do it. Yeah.
Kip, let's tell them about Upside.
Shout out to Upside.
Gang, one of the smartest apps you can have on your phone in 2025 is Upside. Upside gives you the power to earn more on the stuff you buy all the time. Whether you're filling up your tank, going out to eat, or shopping for groceries, the Upside app lets you earn cash back on every purchase. Upside users are making as much as $280 a year, Kippy. That's a lot of cash.
Baby. The free Upside app gets you cash back on daily essentials like gas, groceries, and dining. We use it every time we're filling up the gas tank. Bada bing, bada boom. Upside lets you wet your beak. To get started, download the free Upside app. Use our promo code AYG and get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas.
Damn.
Look at that. Next, claim an offer for whatever you're buying on Upside. Then pay as usual with a credit or debit card. Follow the steps in the app to get paid. There are over 100,000 gas stations, grocery stores, and restaurants on the Upside app, ensuring that the cash back is always just around the corner. You can earn an average of 8% on restaurant and grocery purchases. And the best part, you can even stack your Upside cash on top of your credit and debit card rewards. Talk about wetting your beak, playing both ends from the middle. Upside users are earning hundreds of dollars a year, and that's probably why they have a 4.8 star rating on the App Store. Here's the turkey.
Look at it.
Download the free Upside app and use the promo code AYG to get an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas. That's an extra 25 cents back for every gallon on your first tank of gas using the promo code AYG. Do it. You would work the debt. You'd be if you had downtime, you were folded. Yeah, you had to stay on top of your fucking on top of your shit. I was in charge of it. It was like Nike stuff, active.
What I'm saying is, would you go if you saw me walking up and I'm looking at the Nike sweatsuits?
Yeah, hey, how you doing? Anything I can help you with today?
Beautiful.
Sorry, we don't carry 6XL. And you have a hole in your pants and mustard on your shirt. We're going to have to ask you to leave.
I want to talk to your manager.
Well, it's my brother. He's on his way. He's not going to be a fan either. He don't like me. He definitely
was he
your
manager?
No, he was at another store. He was out in
he was in the manager training program.
Yeah.
I bet you they do all right.
Sure. But I remembered the guy said to him, he's like, you're not rewarded in retail. Don't be the martyr. Like, don't stay, like, he was like, he's working like 15-hour days and this and that. He goes, like, you're not getting paid for it. Like, just like you're trying to win the battle every night. And
they don't reward you. You can't go up and be a general manager
but I don't
or
think,
something like that.
I don't think anything.
Because it always looked nice. I was always jealous of those skills that I didn't have, like watching, like just Christmas shopping this year. Because we went to the Willow Grove Mall, stuff like that. Seeing them like the way they handle the fabric, they fold it up nice. They're really good. They know everything. The bags were nice.
I used to know all the
sharp.
I used to know all of the Levi's jeans.
501, 502, button fly.
501, 505, 527. That was a boot cut. That were banging back in the day. Set of boot cuts on you. Don't better believe I had some of them.
More of a husky,
I think
man.
505s were the button fly, maybe. 501s were the original.
Levi 501s.
They were the original.
Those button flies when I was in high school and college. Forget about it. I used to rock.
But that was like straight, like that's when they all started banging. Skinny started getting a little slim. It wasn't skinny yet, it was slim.
I used to rock those with
511s. 511s were skinny, I think.
I would rock those with no underwear.
Yeah, there you go.
Tight little body on, running around.
We're just reliving the glory days of how hot you were, apparently. Guy, give it up. That's like me talking about how good my hair used to be. What are we doing here, bro?
Hey, you're talking about jeans. I'm trying to relate.
Why don't you try to get back in a pair? That way you can relate.
I got jeans. Not button fly.
No.
Hurt my testicles.
But you would walk around and help. Like, hey, what do you need, whatever. And then you had at the end of the night, you had to make sure all your stuff was
right.
Dunzo. You know what I mean? That fucking sucked. That was the first place I worked where they searched me on the way out.
Jesus.
You had to get searched on the way out to make sure you weren't stealing. I'm like, guy,
pair of jeans up
it's
your
me.
asshole?
You know what I mean?
Holy shit.
But you also had a lot of the retail places, if you were out there, if you ever worked retail, like ringing up, you have to ask, hey, do you want to open a credit card? You want to open a Boscov's credit card? You want to open a Macy's credit card, a Best Buy credit card?
You want to ruin your life?
That was the big thing. And also you had to circle, sign, and say. You had to circle your name, circle the website, say your name, circle, sign.
Hit the survey.
And, hey, if you like what you want, hit the survey. And I never did that. I'm like, guy
Guy with the pepperoni breath was really helpful.
That's actually a carbonara. That's what it was. A chicken carbonara sandwich without mushroom, with no mushrooms. I didn't know what carbonara was. I thought it was a carburetor. I said, guy, I don't know what kind.
No mushrooms.
I remember they gave them to me one time. I sent it back. I said, I'm allergic to these. I can't have them.
Oh, man, a fucking cooked mushroom to you might as well have been eating a slug.
Eating an eyeball. No, thank you. Buddy, I don't do drugs. Thanks for asking. I'm on the clock. I got to get back to the men's department.
I'm straight edge, dog.
Yeah.
I always feel bad about it, but I'm not great in those situations as far as putting things back where.
Listen, as a guy who I hate it, people would come in. I was just shopping with my wife the other day, and she was like not getting stuff, and the woman went, just put it here, like out of the fitting room, and I didn't like doing that because that just piles up. And I go put it back. I'm gonna go hang this up for you. I'm gonna go put it back.
I look like it's like a raccoon got in the trash.
Sure.
I try. I'm just not neat like that. I try to put it back.
You got to just make an effort. You just can't like the pile up.
I leave it in the changing room now.
Yeah, that's not.
I left stuff in there.
I get it. Yeah, it's just not for me. They tell you to do that. I get that. They tell you to do that. As a guy, I didn't know people did that. I didn't know that was like a rule. And like the fifth day I went in and there was like a fucking 6-foot pile of clothes. And I thought I was on my way out. I thought I was clocking the fuck out. I go to check to make sure no one's in there. And there's like fucking 150 pieces of clothes. I was so pissed. I remember calling my brother. This fucking cockamamie company you're running here. Fucking animals. All right, let's see here. This one's from Toady Fick. Just say you're out getting. This is setting the scene. You're out getting new shoes with your mom as a kid.
I'm with you.
Is she having you walk and run up and down the aisles to make sure they fit? I distinctly remember treating Payless like the combine. He's doing the high jump.
My mom, and I hear this from my nephew now. My mother, when she tests to see how far the big toe is in the shoe,
sure,
you're lucky your fucking nail doesn't crack. I mean, she applies pressure to make sure that there's room in the shoe.
Why are they so? I mean, they
the
were
fuck?
so concerned with it.
Come here. Fucking thumb just.
Jeez, Brandon, yeah.
Dude. Fucking, you goddamn fucking break my foot.
I remember one time I was too old. I was older, not too old, but I was old, and I was getting rollerblades for hockey. And we were we were at the Sports Authority out there on Route 1 by Oxford Valley Mall. And there was this nice, I forget what they were, like a good set of Bowers or something, you know, like a little heightened, not like recreational. They were like, you know, like roller hockey skates.
Recreation.
And I put them on, and I was rollerblade to check, and I thought I was real fucking cool. And my mom's like, "You're really good." I'm like, "Yeah, no big deal, dude." I was skating backwards and shit. Dude, I was over by like the canoes and stuff. I was showing.
You fell into a bunch of coolers.
I'm in the golf section. What's up, pussies? I was like, I remember being like, "Man, you are good." Yeah, there's probably some scouts out here gonna fucking see me and sign.
Yeah, you always had to do a little a little 3-point stance, you know, to show guy coming off the line.
Yeah, these are good. You got the clerk checked up. You're running them down the aisle like the sled.
Trying on wrestling shoes. I'm down in the start position.
Get me, I swear to God. I got $50 if you don't get me, pussy.
Doing fireman's carry to my mother.
You're up on the thing, not from the top rope, fucking.
I okay, I hated the foot thing, the measure, the side, the front, that thing. That was a NASA piece of equipment, and Patty would smush him. Bring some poor bastard over, get him involved. I love the bench, the little bench.
Oh yeah,
with the slanted mirror. Man, your shit.
That was like that portable. That was like a seat. So he would sit. He would sit on it, right? I think that was for the salesman. He would sit on it, lace you up, put you in. Then you could walk. You go back and see. Yeah. We had Phil's shoes. That's where
some of those dudes, man, they would lace you up like you were jumping out of a Huey. Just fucking
sure,
crazy tight. Yeah, he's fashionable. Loosen these up a little bit. You got my tongue up in my fucking socks.
I never knew it. Yeah. There it is. Wait, that opened in 1991.
What did?
Phil's Family Shoes, Crossroads Plaza. Grand opening. It took out a whole page in the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Are they still popping?
Nah, that closed.
Yeah,
you can win 76ers tickets.
Not a great year for them, but
yeah, hurry in.
Actually, maybe that's
these
not true.
shoes are that's a great line. Rockports was the thing. Hurry in. These shoes are designed to go fast. 355-0732.
Got a pair of Rockports at the house.
Damn.
My dad turned me on to them.
Yeah.
Because they're comfy for bigger guys.
Sure.
Rockports.
Very much so.
My first pair of Rockports were hand-me-downs of his. Wore them
all
the time.
This one's great. This is from Joey Bag of Donuts, $10 homie. I used to work overnight at the flagship LL Bean store in Maine. It was open to customers 24/7.
Oh, my God.
My main job was to chase out teenagers who would hook up in the tents.
Damn.
That's a place to go fucking canoodle with your gal pal or your guy.
Flagship LL Bean?
That store is sick.
You know it?
I've been there.
Whoa.
They have an archery range in there.
Shit.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Get around, don't you? What the hell are you doing up there?
Got family up there.
That's all right. I mean, one weird job. I chasing out teens who were smooching, whatever. I could have been the main responder. I didn't hire them for that.
You got to do prime time someplace like that. It's probably pretty nice. LL Bean was banging.
LL Bean's a great company. I always loved those. I still like those more outdoorsy stores. We don't run into them a whole bunch here.
REI?
Loving REI. Love going in there. I just like I like functional gear. Let me look at this. And that's because you go into those stores, they go, oh, they have the thing for that one thing. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I have this task or this bangs on my whatever. You go, oh, here's the thing to say. I love that.
Got a Cartman watch? What are they called?
Ooh, I don't even know what that is.
Garmin.
Garmin.
Yeah.
You'd get a Cartman watch.
Get one of those, a couple of carabiners.
Remember when carabiners hit?
Sure.
All right, this one's from Josh. Is it garbage that I don't go to my local mall anymore because they got rid of Annie Ann's Pretzel Shop? P.S. They got another pretzel shop called Rogers Pretzels, and it can kick rocks. I respect that,
Yeah,
dude.
fuck that.
Get eyes on Rogers Pretzels. That might be a standalone guy. I've been to a lot of malls and dining. I ain't never seen Rogers Pretzels.
Annie Ann's all day.
What do you got on Rogers?
I believe it's Mr. Rogers.
Oh, Mr. Rogers Pretzels. That's got to be some sort of trademark infringement. You would have
Probably pretzel twists. Those braids. Get
yeah,
out of here
fuck
with
that
that
shit.
shit. Is Easter? Fucking bullshit. Annie Ann's.
Rogers seems to also be more of like a specialty store, not like they're banging them out fresh every day.
Oh, fuck that.
Yeah, all right, buddy, I'm on your side. Fuck them guys.
I don't think an Annie Ann's has ever closed. That they're closing. The mall's on its way out.
Sure. I don't
That's
think
bad.
you're wrong.
You got snakes in that mall. It's no good.
Sure.
Get out of here with that.
Uh-huh.
That's the last. That and the Cinnabon.
Yeah, they're like roaches.
Dude.
They'll survive the nuclear blast.
When Cinnabon hit, oh my God.
Never got us.
My
We were an
family,
Annie Ann's family.
My family went nuts for those things.
Mm-hmm. What was the first for us? It was Clover was the first department store, like not mall departments. I guess it was kind of relatively connected to a mall. But
Clover
it
was always a tent pole in a mall. It was always at the end, the Macy's or the J.C. Penney's or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the name of this mall.
Our Clover was attached to a Clemens, and then it had a little mart in between, like it was a bunch of kiosks. It was phenomenal. But what are you asking? What's my first what?
That was the first. I mean, that was the closest one.
Boscov's was our first one
gotcha.
in Wilkes-Barre. They used to do the Halloween. They'd have the witch go from across the street to the other side.
Uh-huh.
I waited in the car. That shit scared the fuck out of me.
Sure.
They just had some doll or some dummy on a wire, but she would peek out over here, and they had another lady peek out over there. Fucking god damn it. Trauma.
Oh, this one was off Street Road. Shout out Street Road. And then it turned into a Value City, then an Office Max, I believe, or a Staples.
Sucks.
But it used to be connected to a very small mall that was dying. It was always empty. It wasn't the Leo Mall. It was further down on Bustleton. This was like the Roosevelt Mall. I forget what the fuck it was called. See if you can look up Clover, Street Road, Feasterville, PA, and see what mall that was. We would go skateboarding in it as like young teens because
inside
in the mall because it was so close. There was like a Jamba Juice, but like a knockoff one at the end.
That's
that was
probably
it.
awesome. I always wanted to do shit like that.
I remember the whole
Ride your
mall
bike
was
through a
small,
mall.
like Mediterranean tiles. So we go click, 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 like as you went. Like they weren't like the big
I got
smooth
you.
tiles.
Damn. Mediterranean.
I don't know what that is. Clay tiles or whatever.
Clover was either liquidated or sold and bought by the Federated Department Stores in 2005.
Can you see what mall that was connected to, though? There should be
Yes.
some sort of.
I always thought their parent company was Strawbridge and Clothier.
Was that the case?
I believe so.
That's pretty good. But we used to.
I think your Strawbridge's card, which only
work
when I
at
knew
Clover.
only when I knew how it was my Aunt Colleen was talking about her Strawbridge's card. I loved it.
Denise had one.
Did she?
Mhm.
Yeah, she has Strawbridge's
Put
card.
it on my Strawbridge's card.
I believe Bucks County Mall.
That might have been the Bucks County Mall.
Kitty City was also a part of it.
Yes, it
Let's
was.
go.
Shout out to the Bucks County Mall.
Let's go.
Kitty City.
Those
I got a
poor
picture of the
bastards.
sign.
Of what?
Of the sign of the.
The Clover?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'd go right
Great,
into Clover.
great department. It was awesome.
We'd go right into Clover, bang a right snack bar right there. She'd lace me with a hot pretzel out of the machine and a Slurpee, probably icy, red and blue.
Sure.
And
And
then,
they had the stand was in the middle, and they had the icy spinning around up top.
and
Polar bear.
I'd be good in the cart for about 35 minutes, just eating my bite and sip at an early age with a Slurpee and a pretzel. Ain't nothing better.
Those ices would screw you sometimes, though. You'd be halfway done, but you'd have no more juice.
Sure.
You'd have to shake it
You had
up.
to keep staring. That was a thing I learned at a young age. You had to churn your own butter, as we call it.
Sure. That's when I would start dipping the pretzel in there.
But I'd be good as shit in there, and then she could get it done, and we'd get out. But I fucking love Clover. That and then a Woolworths.
Shout out to Woolworths.
Woolworths was in the Chamonix Mall. And that was the first place I seen. I feel like those were like Marshalls and stuff.
Now, Woolworths to me.
I mean, all those kind of stores they just seemed chaotic. They had so much stuff, it seemed.
Yeah, what killed me is Woolworths. I believe the Woolworths that we used to go to, they had a big garden section.
They had a pet shop, too.
Yeah, I didn't like the smell of the fucking gerbils in the back or the fertilizer over in the garden section.
Sure.
Hated it. It was always cold and creepy. Wasn't a fan.
And then here we go. All right, this one's from Kip Van Winkle. I got a whole Sears shut down, like rolled down gates and all, as a kid hiding from my mother inside the clothing rack.
Nice.
I mean, that's obviously the real move. That's like that. That is the best childhood move. Hiding in those clothing.
That's a great question. What store did you get lost in? Or did you lose your parents in?
I remember getting. I forget what the.
Mine
fuck
was
it
a Kmart. I got lost in a Kmart and freaked the fuck out. Some neighbor found me.
I can't recall. I remember it might have been a Kmart. I remember it vividly. And somebody took our cart in the store.
Jesus.
I think like a guy working there was like, oh, this got left or something, and he moved it.
Somebody left their bald fat kid here.
And my mom came back and was like, they took my cart. And like yelled, and we left. We left the store.
Sure.
And I'm like,
you walk out.
I thought we had paid for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, that wasn't your shit. You know what I mean? You could have just put it back. Could have just got a new cart and grabbed everything in 10 minutes.
Of course.
Nah, she had to fucking rub it in my face.
Speaking of retail, Kippy Foley, manager at the Gap at the Wyoming Valley Mall, as you know, for a long time.
Sure.
Maybe about 5-10 years she worked there.
That's back when the Gap was the Gap.
Popping.
That was like new. It was cool. It was like off.
No, this is lowercase Gap. This isn't uppercase Gap. This is before the Gap popped.
Sure.
It was cool then.
I'm saying, yeah, that's what.
But
yeah,
not like when it went blue.
Yeah, it was like hippie-ish.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Like I'm explaining it before you cut me off.
I apologize.
Yeah, no, it was still like it was like those two hippies that started it and were like the owners were like fucking wacky, fucking smoking the devil's lettuce kind of guys.
Yeah, it was very Three's Company. Like it was very 70s, the paint on the walls and stuff like that.
Donald and Doris Fisher from San Francisco.
Yeah,
they actually started the Gap.
Yeah, they were hippie dippies. I remember doing a project on them.
Let me find out.
Gotta be
more than Patty.
Sure. God love her. Doing okay though.
Sure.
Okay, let's talk about Factor.
Shout out to Factor.
One of the best in the business. The best in the business. We're talking about Factor meals, baby. Always fresh, never frozen, ready to eat in about 2 minutes. You throw it in the microwave. Absolutely delicious. Listen, springtime's coming. Everybody's busy. Everybody's trying to what? Tighten it up a little bit for the summer?
Sure.
Factor meals, nutritious, delicious. You could do keto. You could do low carb. Absolutely fantastic. Kippy likes to try to chicken taco ball. I like the rice over there. When they do that mashed cauliflower rice.
Sure.
Woo-wee.
Yeah, they have chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy. Dietitian approved, ready to heat in 2 minutes, so you can fuel you. You feel great no matter what life throws at you. They arrive fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active or busy lifestyle. And now you can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. Based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results will vary, obviously, depending on diet and exercise.
Of course.
With 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from the preference you like. You can do Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Factors can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Here's the turkey. Eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast. Use the code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shipping. That's code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Do it. Let's go. This is another great. This is from Max. You ever rode a kid's bike in the store, not as a kid? That was always a good time. That, and I can't walk by one of those cages of balls without grabbing a ball and doing a fucking
of course,
doing a little fucking bread and butter.
Would you get one of those? Would they get you one of those?
Occasionally.
Nah, my mom hated them. They never lasted.
I mean, super occasionally.
Yeah.
If it was like she's fighting off a time bomb between me and Danny, maybe.
But they weren't for anything.
No, yeah, you couldn't use them.
Yeah, it wasn't like basketball.
It was literally to throw in the house and break a lamp. That's what it was for. It was.
They pop so easily.
Yeah. I love the smell of them. They're more for kids. My little brother would get them and have them or whatever, and you could fucking pelt him in the head with them, and they didn't hurt.
Sure.
They didn't hurt, you know what I mean? So you could fucking really ping them one.
Yeah, they were all right for that.
Fisher family is worth $4.3 billion.
All on the back of Patty's hard work.
That's pretty good. That's all right. No shit. They don't still own it, right?
Their 3 sons continue to manage the business.
Get the fuck out of here.
I'm sure you got shareholders, but
shit. That's pretty good. Those guys, I mean, you remember probably when you were in middle school, I was in high school or college. I mean, they had.
I was in middle school. You were in college.
Yeah, they had when they went blue and it was like the big the upper.
That's all I really remember. I only know the other version from like
retro
a book
shit.
report.
Yeah,
Yeah, business. Yeah, you had to do some sort of.
I mean, they had a run.
Sure,
they're back.
They're
Are
back.
they?
Just collabed with Mad Happy.
No shit.
Yeah,
I got to get over there.
I got some of the gear.
Some socks.
See if they're hiring. Do you remember this? So my mall years were still as your mall years were probably prime too. I'm talking like for me, mid-90s. Malls were fucking. I mean, that was the hub.
Buddy, mid-80s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's for you. Yeah,
for sure.
I think this was more 90s though. The theory, and then you would see from time to time that stores would have real people as mannequins. Do you remember that? I think like Abercrombie did. Certain places did it where like they'd get like the hot girls from the school or whatever. They might have worked there too, and they would go put on like a dress and just like, and then move positions every like 10 minutes or something.
Huh, I'm surprised they didn't ask me to do that.
Yeah, me too, with all your modeling experience.
Sure. No, but you have to wear the clothes.
Yeah.
Which, didn't you have to wear the clothes? Didn't you have to wear Macy's clothes? How were you able to wear your dad's suit?
I had to wear a suit. You just had to wear a black suit and tie.
Oh, you didn't have to wear the clothes from the store?
That'd be weird if I was dressed up in a Nike fucking warm-up outfit. That'd be insane.
Nike Tech.
Yeah, I'm in a pair of 501s and a Harley Davidson shirt. Like, what are you talking about?
I thought you had to wear the clothes from the store. My mom did. They wore like Gap stuff, so people could see how it looked on you.
Sure. But the Gap only carries the Gap clothes.
Right.
It'd be weird if I was wearing a pair of Rockports, a bathing suit, and a blazer from DKNY or whatever. You know what I mean?
Nothing matches. With a winter coat.
Guys, if you need any advice on styling an outfit, just hit me up, obviously.
Dressed like a crazy person.
I got a snorkel on. Sitting on a washing machine.
Eating tri-colored popcorn out of the tin.
You guys want to open up a credit card? I got you.
Holding a spatula or something like that.
Yeah, I remember that was big. I also remember just like the malls, because my brother and sister were going to the mall socially when I was young. I was probably, this was probably like 91, 92 they would go, Yeah, whatever, maybe 93. They get dropped off at the mall or whatever. And man, just like the circling of all the kids from all the different schools. I remember one kid he'd have these huge spiked hair.
Jesus.
What?
He's hanging out with punk rock kids?
No, he would just be at the mall. You would see him at the mall. We would go to the mall once a week just to I don't know. One person out of a family of 3 between my mom, my dad, my stepmom, somebody needed fucking something. Or just, we'll go to the mall just to get out of the house or whatever.
For sure.
Kahunaville. We went to Kahunaville in the Oxford Valley Mall.
Oh, my God. Kahunaville.
Shout out Kahunaville. See if you get any eyes on that. That was great. I like the Rainforest Cafe, but I think there was only a couple of them. It was like a independent shop.
Permanently closed.
Fuck! I had a birthday at Kahunaville. Couldn't tell me shit.
Jesus.
Oh, it's just my family, but we celebrated my birthday.
That's a nice burger over there.
I think I had the chicken tendies.
Steak fries.
All right, this is about all just kinds of shopping. This is from Harvey. Never have one read. Hoagie here. Is it garbage to deny help from an employee even though you definitely need help? I do that.
To deny? Oh.
Like you go in, hey, can I help you with anything? Now I'm just looking and really a question of, hey, do you carry fucking scuba tanks? No?
Yeah.
I do that.
See, I always thought at Foot Locker that you got a bump. That, who helped you? Kevin helped me.
Yeah, I think maybe like full-time employees at some point got commission. But like the part-time guy, my buddy did it when he worked at Foot Locker.
Did not.
But like you needed to help. So, they can tell how hard you're working by how many. That was the way it was explained to me. I could be wrong.
Your name gets put in there.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you only helped 3 people today, whereas fucking Gary helped 100.
Everybody said no.
I'm trying.
I'm just looking. If you need
Yeah, but they need you have to go get the shoes in Foot Locker.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? Somebody has to go get them.
DXL, sometimes they give you the full court press. Hey, sure you don't, they're hanging around. Oh, that looked good on you. First of all, nothing looks good on me, lady. I know you're fucking lying to me.
Sure. They might work on that. Might be more of a commish based. I don't think there's a lot of part-time after-school kids working at DXL. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that would be more Macy's, Target, Best Buy. And those kids, I don't think, they don't get commish.
I think I'd be good at DXL.
Yeah.
No, you don't want that.
But I have it. That thing stains like you wouldn't believe. The wear and tear on that thing alone.
Be good there.
Sure. I think you would be great.
My one uncle worked was Joseph A. Bank guy.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaned up. Was just a born salesman. My uncle's brother by marriage.
So just
Uncle Joe.
Some guy you know.
Yeah. Used to move
fabric.
Suits.
Yeah.
DXL employees get commission.
No shit.
I can tell.
Really?
Varying between 1.5 and 6% based on the personal sales volume.
That's funny because
That's got to be a lot on a 40-pound coat.
That's funny because the last couple times I went in there, I dropped a couple of bucks there. I was loading up. And I don't remember them, like, falling over themselves.
I think it still depends on the employee, but it seems like DXL is a pretty good commission-based system.
I mean, but 1%, to get any real juice off that, you got to be spending like 20 grand in there.
I think I spent like $300, $400 the last couple of times I was in there.
That's $4 to that guy.
Is that all it is?
I tell you to go suck my dick. Come in here fucking making demands and shit. I'm gonna make $450. No way.
Is that what it is?
Oh, 1% of 100 is $1.
That's got to be 10%.
Could be. No, it goes up to 6.
6.
Yeah. You gotta be an earner to get. You gotta be there a long time. You gotta be Mr. D, X, or L to get 6%.
It should be like 10. They should get 10%, unless they're paying them at the wazoo.
With the wazoo?
Give them a reason to move some fucking gear.
They don't need to. You're in there. You can't go nowhere else. What, are you gonna walk out to fucking DL? Like you need the X. You know what I mean?
I'll go over to Urban Outfitters right now.
What does DXL stand for? What's the D?
Destination XL.
Whoa. Location, fat ass. I wish I could do a tractor beam. Beep, beep.
Destination.
Dude, Destination fat ass is great.
No, it's Destination XL.
My bad.
It's also tall, too.
Dude, that one mannequin we posted a picture of, he's like 5'2", fucking 380, that guy.
That guy owns a cheesesteak place.
His dad started. He's the son. All right, this is from Drive-In. Longtime $10 dirtbag, never had one read. Had a job at a big box store in high school as a security guard. Another kid from my school started working at the same place as a cashier. He immediately found out the override code and a list of codes for all the registers. This was a time when starter jackets and jerseys were absolutely banging.
I know where this is going.
Me too. We would have kids from school. Hold on, this is a deep text. We would have kids from school come in at timed intervals, grab a stack of starter gear, and I would switch the cameras off the front door, off the sports section, then off the cashier at the right time.
Jesus.
He would ring everything up for $1, and they pay cash. There was never a trace of that person being in the store. The next day at school, these kids would give us like $50 to $100 to split. Never got caught, made enough money to smoke weed for free for a couple of years through high school.
God damn, that is fucking diabolical.
Yes.
That's Ocean's 11 shit.
Yeah, that's wild. And this goes back to, like, listen, a lot of the times these big box stores, Foot Lockers, whatever, these mall retail places are hiring teenagers, essentially. Teenagers don't really give they're not morally like, they don't give a fuck about Mr. Blockbuster or whatever, and they get in there and they start seeing the holes in the system here.
Turning cameras off.
That's sick.
That's
nuts.
sick.
Somebody else said, I don't know if I took it, but they were just like, I work in a mall, and they were like, just the ecosystem that goes through the mall is crazy. Dude, like I've said before, we used to do the 2 for $70 deal. You go in, guy at Foot Locker, you pick out 2 shoes, he gives them to you in a bag, you hand him $70. You hand him $70. I think he put 10 or 20 in the register. Pocketed 50 or whatever. He'd ring you up for $1, whatever the fuck it was.
You think that the dollar charges would ring somebody's bell? What are all these dollar charges?
They didn't know, though.
I mean, we did the standard when Best Buy was fucking up when they first opened and they had the shit upstairs. We had my buddies had the return thing going.
All right, this one's for Mr. Bevilacqua, $10 man myself. Great name.
There you go.
Is it garbage to swing through your local malls, Macy's, on your way to a date to freshen up a couple layers of cologne samples?
Very, very, very of a couple of years ago, a lot of people were doing this. They weren't just doing it at the perfume counter, or the cologne counter, which I respect the move.
Sure.
Okay? I respect it. Go in there and freshen up. A lot of people were going to CVS and Dwayne Reed and shit like that, going to hitting the. You used to do it.
What?
I used to do it.
What?
I would go and I would open up a thing of hairspray or something like that.
Nah, but a kid I knew did it.
I used to do it all the time.
I never did it.
I would grab the Crew forming cream and just do my hair real quick.
Maybe I'd do a spritz of hairspray.
I remember being with you when we both did it. Fuck you talking.
We're in there like we're in the fucking beauty parlor. Hey, Dottie.
And they're trimming our beards. I want to return this. I respect
Sorry, you didn't buy this.
It's dirtbag, it's garbage, but I love it.
Yes. Hey, listen. That's what you got to do. So what are you going to go? So, like, what's the reality? You have a fucking, I don't know what, cologne costs $50 a bottle? Is that all right? 100 I don't know. I don't buy cologne. I'm not a fucking Italian.
I love cologne.
So just say it's $50, and you got one at home. So what are you going to, like, go? You can't make it home in time. There's a Macy's around the corner or whatever. What, are you going to go buy a $50 bottle of fucking cologne? No, just go, okay, test this. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to get my dick sucked.
You know what I love as far as cologne? And I get a version of this every year from one of the Birds family, one of my aunties gives it to me over there, is the samples, the little tiny bottles of dude, that keeps you going for the whole year. You got an eclectic. They're all like little samples or little giveaways. I love that around the holidays. If you buy like a certain bottle of cologne, they'll give you like the pack with like the this and the that. I love that shit.
Yeah.
You got like 50 different cologne, little baby.
Sure.
It's nice.
This one's just funny. This is McKenna. Are you garbage if your mom puts Kohl's cash in your birthday card in lieu of actual cash? That's fucking great. Know about when and how to spend it, baby. I've never had that. I would say yes, that is trash. But everyone in my family, big Kohl's cash.
Love it.
All of it. I mean, Denise probably sitting on fucking $2,000 or whatever. I don't know how it works.
Big on Kohl's.
Man, I got it at Kohl's. Where'd you
they
get
got
that?
Sephora's in there now too.
No shit.
The one by us, Sephora right in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Man, Kohl's to me it took me a while to realize Kohl's wasn't at the forefront of fashion. I thought it was. I thought Sonoma, Arizona or whatever.
Sonoma.
I thought Sonoma was like, like, you couldn't tell me shit. It took me
section.
a while to really realize clothes. And you know what it was? H&M for me.
That's hot shit. That's cool guy shit.
That was the first time I'm like, oh, I can buy, I don't have to think. I can just buy stuff here and it's $9. Great. And I'm kind of cool.
Uh-huh.
That was the first time.
Yeah.
Everything else, I was just wearing hoodies and jeans, like just whatever I could get my hands on.
H&M was legit. I was saying the Kohl's toy department, bunk, whack, stinks.
I mean,
no good.
Sure, of course. They don't even do the clothes right, I would argue.
Fair enough.
That's just me. This one's from Ozempic, gold medalist, $10 bozo. One time I did ecstasy, went and got my hair cut at the mall. It was the best haircut I ever had. Felt real good.
I like that.
I've gotten my hair cut at a mall before. Not my proudest moment. We did it on the road. I want to say in Cleveland or something, which we'll be coming to.
Haircuttery, Plymouth Meeting Mall.
Sure.
That's where the ladies got their cuts. Everybody in my family was getting cuts there.
I did the haircut. It wasn't in the mall, though, but shout out to a haircutter. All the broads I grew up with started working here.
Of course.
Cut my hair. Go in there. It'd be 3 or 4 of them. One of them wasn't great, and you had to, like, slowly pivot to the other one.
Hot teas. Love the way a beauty parlor smells.
Yeah. This one's a little crude, but
Fair
you
enough.
know. It's from Aunt Tootie's Boner Garage. $10 bozo, never ever had one read. Is it garbage to J.O. in a produce fridge at Walmart? I was working at the department when I was about 17 and walked in on a coworker tugging his root.
God.
I turned around and left immediately.
Jesus. Yeah, that's fucked up. That's bad.
But these are the people that you're hiring for these retail jobs. Like the guy who wants to whack off in the freezer.
Produce
I'm not
freezer?
judging.
Come on, man.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying I haven't pulled it at work before.
You gotta wash your. That's why you gotta wash your produce, gang.
I've pulled it at work before, but in the bathroom, like a gentleman, not around
Here?
other things. No,
Have you ever tugged your root here?
no, I have not.
That laughing no is always a dead.
I haven't.
No.
I haven't.
No.
I might have watched a selection or two.
Nobody Nobody goes on the lot unless you want to buy, big dog.
That's not true. That was deep.
Fucking dirtbag.
I've never jerked off in here. At Tootie's, I wouldn't do that to her. A goddamn aunt. It's different
Yeah,
psychologically.
I forgot. There he is. Sure.
Wouldn't do that.
Uh huh.
Your house, I have.
Sure. Who hasn't? It's like the 6 strain. This one's from Ron 7. $5 goon and new to the Tron. Is it garbage to take photos of all the good recipes in a cookbook at a bookstore with no intent on buying the book? Man, I can't hate. I've never thought of that, and I can't hate it. That's brilliant.
We haven't talked about bookstores.
We haven't.
Brentano's. What's it called?
Brentano's.
Barnes and Nobles.
Barnes and Nobles.
What's the other one?
Barnes and Nobles. That's the funniest video ever.
There's Barnes and Nobles, and there was another one, another big
Borders.
one. Borders.
I think Borders went under, if I had to guess.
Yes, they did.
And Amazon owns Barnes and Nobles now.
I believe so.
Man, talk about coming from the inside.
I could be wrong.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I mean that Barnes and Noble, that we would go to that Barnes and Noble in Union Square to poop a lot.
To poop and to sit.
I remember one time
Because they had tables.
Yeah, they had tables. You go and get a cup of coffee, sit there, and with the rest of the homeless people. I remember one time I had to go to the bathroom so bad. It was you, and Tom. I think it was just maybe me and you, and you're like, I'll stay out front. And I'm like, I got to go. I run in, and me and this homeless guy are like rushing up the escalator, and I realize that he's also going to the bathroom, and he's got the angle on me. He's got like half a flight of stairs on me.
Angle of pursuit.
And they're the small. They were the small escalators, so you can't even pass them. Oh man! So like you had to get up, and I'm trying to take him at the corners. It's like 6 escalators.
That's kill or be killed.
And he got there before me. And I had to come back down. You're like, you're done? I go, we got to find I probably went over that Whole Foods or whatever's right there. Yeah. Okay.
Second best choice.
Nah, man, that's homeless galore.
Those guys that work in the Barnes & Noble, man, God love them.
What?
They just take a deal with a lot of shit.
I know, but you go to a nice suburb. We go to one in the burbs, a nice suburban Barnes and Noble. It's quiet. It's like going back in time. You're walking around going, hey, can I help you find anything? It smells nice. They got the Star Beezies going.
Sure. I just feel like people don't treat the people that work there well. You know what I mean? They boss them around and shit like that. And nobody ever knows where the fuck anything is. You know what I mean?
I don't. I'm sorry. I've never been
Really?
in there. People... more than anywhere else, I don't think. I don't think people are just, like specifically bossing around Barnes and Noble people.
I always got that vibe. I always felt bad for them.
Yeah, I mean maybe in the city, but I mean that's a little different. But I mean you go to a nice quiet suburb, they're like librarians.
Yeah, so I was gonna say you gotta be a little intelligent to work at those places. You gotta know a little bit what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like people always treated them like shit.
Sure.
Barnes and Noble was just bought by a hedge fund,
Oh,
but
there you go.
Amazon did take them down.
Amazon took them down.
Yeah.
Hedge fund, huh?
Yeah.
Jeez. BlackRock? Who is it?
Citadel.
Crack Rock. Citadel. Isn't that the
Military school?
No.
Technically Elliott Advisors, but
That's no Dempsey Group.
Yeah, when are you going to fucking make a purchase?
You should make a move on this. Take the show. Buy the show. We work for you.
I've heard someone's up for sale.
Also, if you're listening, Foley is interested in selling his stake.
Like you have $1,200 on you.
Just saying. This one is something that I feel, speaking of retail, needs to be appreciated. This is from JB. I worked at a candy store right out of high school. Business was constantly so slow, so I would sit at the register and watch Netflix. I made it through all of Prison Break, Sons of Anarchy, and Breaking Bad. There's something to say for those little stores that you walk in and it's just dead, and the guy, not that he doesn't give a fuck, but he's just going,
What do you want from me?
Yeah, like, guy, take a look, or I'll ring you up, but, like, I ain't holding your hand.
How's a candy store dead? You know?
Yeah, I mean, people aren't going to, I don't know.
Outside the summer.
Yeah,
You think?
I don't know. What if it was in an industrial, I don't know, foot traffic? I don't know, a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, that's the owner's problem. They just think this kid's fault.
Sure. I'm just saying the fact that is a great retail job where you're like, I'm just a body in this store so no one robs it.
Right.
And I'm just watching fucking whatever all
Chilling.
day. I respect that. That
Not
is
bad.
that is very American.
Yeah.
I'm just fucking here, dude. I'm collecting a goddamn paycheck.
Owner will be back in a couple hours. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know how to work the system.
Yeah, Randy's not here today.
I can only ring it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, this is with Snake with Arms. When I worked in retail, if someone ever asked, do you have any more in the back, I would go in the back to look. But in reality, that was a free 10-minute break, and I just tell them no when we came back. Listen, that is a big... It took me for a long time.
Would you ever have anything in the back?
There was no back. Everything you see is out. And people go, no, but, like, can you check? And I go...
I didn't know that.
I mean, that Macy's doesn't have a back. Like, everything's out. They're not like, oh, you're sitting on, I mean, maybe some places, but that Macy's, everything's out.
Obviously, at different times of my life, I was, hey, do you have,
A larger size.
Yeah. You have anything bigger in the
You
back?
have a DXL in the back? Hey, this doesn't happen to be on top of a DXL, does it?
They would just give me a Cinnabon and I'll get out of here.
You gotta get out of your hair. Hey, but I know you want to finish Sons of Anarchy here. Why don't you just fucking... You just give me half of that Cinnabon. I'll be on my way.
You load me up with a pound of gummy colas and I'll be on my way. Shout out to the gummy colas.
Yeah, there was no back. Which we would do if I did like you. I could search other stores that had that product.
I would. They do that at DXL. They're like, oh, we can order it for you, or oh, the store. I'm like, yeah, what? Are you out of your fucking
Expect me
mind?
to walk there too?
Seriously, I'm not fucking going to the other. No.
Well, if you need it, I mean, yeah. Listen, if you want something that you're not like, oh my God, I see that, I need it. You're more.
The only time I did that was for my
As
wedding
Chris
shirt.
Cotton used to say, I'm getting so if I don't get to the point where I don't call them clothes, I call them fabrics. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah, I'm not going to the other. Don't worry about it. I'm not going to the other store.
Sure. I'll just wear dirty underwear. Have a nice day.
Fuck that.
Yeah, we were never. We didn't have the Macy's didn't have it back. I would check other stores if I liked you and was slow and just also kind of looking for like, it'll take 2 minutes. I remember one time they made me call up to Herald Square, because they listed. It's also like bad. I mean, you're tracking thousands of pieces through hundreds of stores. So if it was like I was just somewhere.
What'd you have, a database? Wasn't it?
Hold on. Yeah, go.
Well, wasn't it an older computer? Wouldn't
it was one of those like fucking accessing Pentagon codes computers.
Like
it was like green screen.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, that would come up? Hey, it would be in like the green lettering and like a black thing. It was like concave. It looked like a TV screen.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know why you keep trying to fucking explain it. I told you what it was like.
And you would be able to search through that? That was connected to something?
I mean, it was 2008. It wasn't.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know those were
maybe
connected.
it wasn't. Maybe it wasn't like the Matrix, but it was a little like there was a bit of a screen to it. But
It was like a computer / register.
yeah.
Wow.
So it wasn't like it was like I wasn't running fucking Windows 2000 on it, but
Right. But you could look up and you would see.
yeah, it would just go like you would scan something and you would like tab over
scan it.
and go like other doors or other store, inventory or whatever other locations.
Huh.
It would say we have none left or whatever.
Right.
Or you scan to go other locations and you give you like Herald Square or Neshaminy Mall or Oxford Valley Mall.
Whew.
And then I remember one time I had a call up to Herald Square, and I don't know why they just didn't fucking hang up on me. I'm like, it says there's one of these. And whenever it says one, it don't exist.
They got it.
And anything under 5, you're like,
You're screwed.
you're rolling the fucking, hey, if it's around a corner, I'd go, hey, you can go look. I don't know, or maybe you can call and see if they can find them, but you can't trust these numbers.
Sure.
I called Herald Square, and I didn't know. I'm like, there's one. I remember being like, whoa, I am on the phone with New York City right now.
Any movie stars in there right now?
Do you know the Kardashians? It was.
Do you guys have a back? We don't have a back here.
Do you know how to gift wrap? Damn, they told you how to gift wrap? Shit, how much do they pay you? What time is it there?
I think they're all millionaires. It's Tuesday here. What day is it there?
You guys wear clothes? Are you in the future? You guys even wear clothes? Or
You know Derek Jeter? Is he there now?
I remember being like, whoa, I'm in business. I'm calling New York City. I don't bother. We're just down here in Philadelphia, little podunk town.
Some kid with shaved eyebrows and an ankle monitor on.
And I remember the one girl went, how do I get to, I got the information. I go, they tracked it down. There's one or something. They're going to hold it. I'm like, yeah, hold it. What's your name?
In Herald Square? She was going to drive up from Philly?
So this is like, sometimes you get people from Philly that had never left Philadelphia. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, they got one. I was like, there's one in Herald's. I might have said Herald Square. She might have not clocked that it was New York. And then, or whatever.
Kennett Square.
She knew it was New York. She goes, how do I get there? And I was like, lady, I don't fucking.
If I knew how to get there, I wouldn't be working here.
I wouldn't be wearing my dad's clothes. And my brother's shoes. Okay, lady? Now,
take me with you, will you? Get me out of this town.
Now, if you don't mind, I have to go finish my chicken carbonara sandwich. No mushrooms. All right, we got to wrap it up.
Sans mushrooms.
We got to wrap it up.